Good morning, everyone. And for those watching this later, welcome. Today we're going to do a little bit of everything, just stretching, mobility. I'm actually going to just pin myself here. My apologies on that. And great. And just mindful of those who aren't muted to please mute yourselves, not be part of the recording. Okay, so we are going to actually just go ahead and fix this now. Great. Okay, we're going to start off with some nice, easy, deep breathing, kind of get yourself settled. So just sit on your mat or your floor, your carpet, whatever you have at home. And I want you to just pull back the shoulders, loosen up the neck, kind of drop everything. If you wake up with tension, we're trying to release it. So we're going to do 5 really big breaths. So 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Starting in 3, 2, roll those shoulders, and 1, and 5, 2, 1, and release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathing in. 5, and breathing out. 5, and breathing in. 5, and breathing out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, breathing in. 5, and breathing out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, we're actually going to do a little bit of a side stretch. We're going to open up our ribs and our spine. So if you can, sit in half lotus or full lotus. If you can't do either of those things, just sit cross-legged or whatever way is comfortable. For me, I'll be doing half lotus, but you do not have to sit that way. So I'm going to have one leg on top of the other. For me, whichever leg is down, if you're sitting just cross-legged, it's whichever leg is closer. I want you to lean away from that side. So for me, my left leg is lower than my right. I'm going to lift up and away. I'm going to try to drop my hip towards the floor, try to anchor my hip to the ground. I'm going to try to lift my ribs and my shoulder and my arm up and away. So the purpose of this one is to really feel it almost in between your rib and hip. We're stretching our QL and a little bit of our oblique muscles. And go just to reach over and loosen up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And other side. So here, if you can, switch legs. Up and away. You know, we're trying to see if we can focus on stretching the area between our rib and our hips. So we're playing some jazz this morning. If you want a different change in music, feel free to let me know. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now we got our sides released. We're going to release our back a little bit. We're just going to switch over to a nice, easy child pose. So knees are nice and wide. The hips towards the heels. Stretching out those arms. And again, we're trying to get across those lats. A little bit across our back, a little bit into our low back. Just going to try to really release everything first. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go for a nice passive stretch on our rollers. If you don't have a roller, you can just do this on the ground. Just simply go into a hip bridge and go for snow angels. But if you have a roller, we're going to align our tailbone with the roller and our head and shoulders at the top. Here, lying face up, palms face up. I'm trying to just gently stretch right along here. Seeing slow motion. Palms face up the whole time. You want to see if you can keep your shoulder in external rotation. trying to open up as best you can. About 20 more seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now that our posture is a little bit awake, we stretch our back, our chest, our shoulders. We're going to get to an important part, the glute. So you can use a roller, you can use a ball, whatever you have lying around. I'll show you both. With a roller, you can sit in it like I'm sitting now. And your goal is to cross one knee on top of one ankle on top of one knee. Once you've done that, your goal is just to roll back and forth right along here. Now, if you don't have a roller, but you have, say, a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, hockey ball, any kind really, and then you're going to place it under that cheek, and same motion. You want to try to bring this ankle, top of this knee, and roll back and forth like so, or in circles, whatever works for you. I'm going to switch back to the roller, but you can use whatever you have lying around. So to be here for about 35 more seconds. We'll do a mix of stretching and rolling today. We'll do some rolling exercises, some release, and some just regular old stretching. I'm gonna open up. Definitely get the hamstrings today. But if you have any other requests, the neck as well, let me know. More than happy to work with whoever's live here. With whatever's going on. 5, 4, 3. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. Again, you can use a ball, a roller, whatever you have lying around. If you really have nothing, you can also just use like a rolling pin in your kitchen. That'll be quite the challenge. Try to breathe through your stomach the whole time. Slow, deep breaths. And the goal here isn't to feel pain. While it may feel painful, the goal isn't pain. We have about 15 seconds left. Taking our time, just really digging in, slow and stable. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, we're gonna do a little bit of higher glute rolling. So we're gonna take a ball, whichever one we have, tennis ball, hockey, lacrosse. I want you to place it on the top edge of your glute on the inside. I'll show you. So here, I'm gonna start on my right. I wanna put the ball in the top left corner of my right glute. So taking the ball, I found my tailbone right in the middle. I'm gonna go about an inch to the right of it on the top corner of my glute. So it's not on the flat of my low back where it's bony. It's below that. It should still be in the glute where it's squishy, but on the upper inner portion of my right glute. So I'm about an inch to the right of my tailbone. And my hips are neutral. My shoulders are back. My goal is to take my right leg, bring my knee into my chest, and press through my heel. And I'm gonna be working the top part of my glute. This is right where the glute actually starts at your low back. If you're doing a lot of sitting, a lot of bent over positions from the couch, chair, really any kind of sitting, these tend to get tight, especially if we're in that position for hours at a time. Slow motions, knee to chest, and press through the heel, trying to work that upper inner corner of the right glute. And one more time, just make sure you're in the muscle of the glute, not in the bony, flat part of your low back. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, we're going to shift the ball to about 2 inches to the right. Start in the top middle portion of the right glute, and here we can actually lean ourselves over a little bit. Work through. Knee to chest, press through the heel. So you can lean our hips maybe 10, 20 degrees to the right. And the ball should be in the top middle portion of the right glute. Now, of course, if you're using a firmer ball like a lacrosse or even a golf ball, this will be quite rough. But if you're using a hockey ball or a yoga ball, it'll be a little easier. So 12 more seconds here. If at any point you have any requests, feel free to put them in the chat. Just say them out loud and I'll make sure I get to them. And slow, deep breath. If you hear some clanging, they're doing some roof work. So I promise everything is okay. And 3, 2, and 1 here. Now we're in the top right corner of the right cheek. So this one's gonna feel like we're just behind our pocket. I want you to actually really lean your hips over, maybe 45 degrees, if not more. Really work the top right corner of your right glute. Knee to chest, pressing through the heel. About 20 more seconds, really digging into that top right corner of the right glute. If you want to press and hold it in a particular spot, that's fine too. And 5, 4, 3, 2, now easing off, now the other side. So here we're going to be in the upper inner portion of our left glute, so the top right corner of our left cheek. We're going to be an inch to the left of our tailbone, and same thing, knee to chest, pressing through the heel. Now, if you want to hold it in a particular spot, that's fine too. You don't have to go back and forth. You can just hold it in a particular position. That's A-okay. Five, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to take the ball, bring it 2 inches to the left. We're going to lean over, really dig it back and forth. So now our hips are going to be 10, 20 degrees off the ground. We're slowly going to release through that. About 10 more seconds. 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Now all the way to the left, so on the top left corner of the left glute. We're going to lean our hips way over and really dig back and forth, almost behind your left pocket. Perfect. Now we're going to use all that we just released. We're going to do a little stretching series for the hamstrings, the hip flexors, and the glutes. So here, I'm going to start in a lunge position. Doesn't matter which leg, but I'll be using my right leg. My right leg is in front. I'm going to actually rotate my right knee towards the outside. I'm going to dig in as much as I can to try to stretch into my left hip flexor. Here, I'm resting my right arm on my leg. I'm not actually putting any pressure into it. Back up just a little bit so my head isn't being out of right. There we go. Slowly digging in. And make sure this knee is turned out, so you're trying to open up your hips as much as you possibly can. You'll be here for about 15 more seconds. Want to feel the top of the thigh, front of the hip flexor. I do see a comment, so I'm going to check that very quickly. Keep going for about 10 more seconds. Speed squeeze. Sounds good, we'll get to those. And 3, 2, and 1. From here, this position, we're going to actually lean back. Now we're going to stretch into our hamstrings. So I want you to straighten that leg, keep your shoulders back, and lean forward so you feel a nice stretch along the hamstring. Now, some people have a tendency to actually rotate the foot out. Try not to do that. Try to keep that foot neutral and tilt your pelvis back. So again, there may be a temptation to kind of hunch over. Try to avoid that. Try to see if you can flatten your back as much as you can. Then lean forward. Imagine tilting your pelvis back, but not hunching over. And it really pulls the hamstring as much as we can. 15 more seconds. This is the first of a few hamstring stretches. And 3, 2, 1. Now taking this leg, we're going to put it parallel to the edge of the mat as best we can. Our goal is to sink down into a glute stretch. Now we just rolled these, they should be a little looser than normal. Try to use the fact that we just rolled and really dig in as best we can. So slowly sink in here, slow deep breath. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. So here we're going to come up, now we're going to lunge with the other leg. Remember, you want to rotate this knee towards the outside, so whichever leg is in front, rotate that knee out, tuck your tailbone in, scoop that bum in, and lean forward, feeling a stretch in the back legs, hip flexor, and top of the thigh. Taking slow, deep breaths. Ten more seconds. 10, 9. Remember to breathe through your stomach the whole time. Think slow, deep breath. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs straight, shoulders back, feeding into those hamstrings. Same thing here. Avoid this foot turning out. Try to keep it neutral. Imagine tilting your pelvis back. Try to deepen the stretch. Imagine trying to imagine like pointing your tailbone away from your body. Slowly sink in for 15 more seconds. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now easing off, taking that same leg. In order to go into a glute stretch. So putting your leg parallel to the edge of the mat and sinking in. Trying to really point those sit bones towards the floor. Taking slow, deep breaths. If you want to use your breath a little bit, you can also, every time you exhale, imagine pushing yourself back just maybe a smidge more. $15 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. From here, now we're going to go for a second hamstring stretch, but this one, we have 2 options. We're going to do it in a standing pose or in a squatting pose. I'll show you both. So for the standing pose, feet are nice and wide. From here, you're going to lean to one side, and this time I actually want you to lift your toes off the ground. And this time you can actually turn your heels out or in if you want. Your goal is to actually lean away and feel a stretch in the hamstring, a little bit in the groin. If you want to do a squatting pose, you can go right down, bring those toes to the sky. And here, see if you can actually physically turn your body away from your foot. And you're gonna feel a stretch right on the inside of both the groin and the hamstring. And the more you try to actually rotate your hips open, you're gonna feel both the stretch behind the thigh, so in the hamstring, and on the inner groin. Again, you want those toes up. You don't want them down. You want the toes up to the sky. You want to try to imagine rotating your body away from your foot. You're going to feel a stretch both in the groin and on the innermost hamstring. About 10 more seconds here. So again, you can do the standing version like I showed you earlier, or the squatting version. For me, I get a deeper stretch in the squatting version. Everyone's different. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Easing off. And for me, I'm going to switch sides. If you're doing the standing version, bring those toes off, lift those toes off the ground, and try to turn your body away. I'm going to stretch on the inside. For me, I have to go right down to the ground. I find I get the deepest stretch there. I plant my heel, and I really turn away. And my toes are off the ground, they're pointing towards the sky. My goal is to actually turn my torso and my hips away. Now we're going to feel a stretch on the inner hamstring and on the inner thigh. You can choose what intensity works for you. Standing, squatting down, whatever works. 10 more seconds here. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly easing off. Now we're going to go for a general groin stretch. Feet are nice and wide, hands either clasped together or hands on the floor. Just stretching through our groin, just opening up. $25 seconds here. Ooh, 3, 2, and shake it off. All right, from here, do a little more hamstrings. This one you're gonna need a wall or a door frame. It'll look a little funky, but there's a wall, door frame, whatever you have. And here, I'm gonna use this window frame. But I want you to use any door frame or wall. Watch first, and then you can, if you need to leave to the camera, just go do it somewhere else, you can. You're gonna lie face up. You're gonna actually plant your heel right along the wall. And your goal is to bring your feet together first, and really point your toes towards your face, and try to slowly lower down, and then come up like this. And the goal is to actually release right along the top hamstring. So again, use a door frame, use a wall, use whatever you have lying around. It's gonna look a little funky. You can also just use a regular wall as long as you can simply prop your foot up. The alternative is if you have a yoga strap, you can also use that or a long towel. So actually, I'll show you the towel variation. You can do this a number of ways. The easiest is with a door frame, but if you don't have one of those, a towel works a-okay. So towel up here, this leg up and pulled, and from here, slowly lowering and coming up. Again, door frame, towel, whatever works. The reason I'm saying the door frame is easier is because your arms don't have to work to hold your other leg up. This works too. Again, of course, the more you pull that leg in, the harder it is the other side. But slow, deep releasing. And the more you pull that leg up or towards you, the more difficult it is. Of course, the straighter this leg is, the harder it is. And the goal here, make sure neither of your toes are rotated out. Some people have a tendency to actually rotate the foot, open. You want to keep both feet neutral and both toes pointed towards your face or towards the sky. So about 50 more seconds here, then we'll switch sides. So towel, door frame, wall, whatever works. So slow releasing, and then as you lower that leg, you're gonna feel a stretch in the top hamstring, not in the bottom one, but in the top hamstring. Whichever leg is currently up is where you're gonna feel it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and switching sides. And slow releasing. Just like this. Coming up, slow, and in control. And you want that leg up the whole time. Using a towel, door frame, whatever works. And again, imagine both toes pointed towards the sky. Or both toes. Just flex as much as you can, with your heel pressing up and your toes pressing towards your face. Being slow and in control. And 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. I'm going to give our hamstrings a little bit of a break. We are going to go for a little bit of foot releasing. First thing is going to be is the front of our ankles. So if it's possible, I want you to actually sit on your heels. My toes are pointed, I'm sitting on my heels. And my goal is to actually lean back. I'm going to feel a stretch right along the top of my shins and a bit of the front of my ankles. Now, if you don't quite feel it, you can also put your feet a little wider. Sink your hips actually below your heels. Same thing, lean back. So a nice stretch right along your tibias in front of your ankles. If you're getting a quad stretch out of this, you might have tight quads. So, and that's fine too, it's a bonus. If you're getting it all at once, that's just bonus. You also lean back as best you can. Just feel a nice stretch along the top of your thighs. Also, most importantly, in front of your shins and in your ankles. You can do this on top of your heels, or you can do it with your heels outside of your hips. Whatever works. Use your hands to support your behind. If you have trouble with this, you can also use yoga blocks behind you, a couch, pillows. If you need that extra support behind you, use it. If you don't, you're doing great. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 3, 2, and 1. Easing off. The front of our ankles are released. Just going to kind of roll them a little bit. Reawake them if they've been sleeping. And here we'll do some foot rolling. Take a ball, any kind is fine. Tennis, hockey, lacrosse. We do some foot rolling. We're going to start underneath the big toe. We're going to do the standing. We're going to press down as firmly as we can and then just roll right along the inside of our arch. Now the key part is the ball should be visible from the top. I'll show you from the front. So as I'm here, the ball should still be visible right there. And rolling right along the arch for about 20 more seconds. If you want to press and hold it on a particular spot, that's fine too. Three, 2, 1. And now the center. So here, ball between the center of our feet. I want you to press down as firmly as you possibly can and roll it right along the center. Right to your heel and right back. I'll show you from the side. So here, press down as firmly as you possibly can Then roll it right to the corner of your heel. And imagine you're trying to also get gum off your shoe. You're trying to really do that pressing and healing motion. Now slowly stretch through. And 3, 2, 1. Now same thing on the other side. So big toe. Press as firmly as you can. Just roll right along the inside. For 12 more seconds. 12, 11, 10, and 3, 2, and 1. Now back to the inside. So between the balls of your feet, press down as firmly as you can, and roll right along the center, right to your heel, and right back. About 30 more seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, we're going to ease off our lower body a little bit. A little bit of upper body stretching. So here, a little bit of rotator cuff. Now we're going to take a ball or a pita roller. Either one's fine. We're going to find our shoulder. Once we found our shoulder, we're going to try to stick our elbow out. We're going to take our fingertips, we're going to reach behind to feel a natural groove right where our shoulder ends and our torso begins. We're going to place those right behind. The ball or the roller, either one's fine. Our goal is to touch our elbow to the ground and then rotate across the rotator cuff as much as we possibly can. So we're going to do some releasing with the rotator cuff and shoulder first. We're going to do some stretching the rotator cuff. Slow, gentle rotations. Trying to really open up as much as you possibly can. Your elbow touching the ground. Some people have a tendency to try to actually stick their arm out a little straighter to make it a little easier. Try to avoid that. Try to keep your arm at 90 degrees. Just gently roll through whatever you got. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on the same side, we're going to do the upper trap actually. So we're not going to switch over just yet. We're going to take either the peanut or the ball. We're going to place it underneath the upper trap on the same side. So for me, I use my right side. So my right trap is going to have the ball underneath. I'm going to try to keep my shoulder low. My arms are long. I'm just going to gently sway up and down. Trying to really release that upper trap. I just in my rotator cuff, so I'm not going to do upper trap on the same side. Think slow, gentle motions, waving up and down. You can even wave out to the side. You can draw crescents, draw circles, just simply gentle waves up and down, whatever works for you. Think nice, easy, flowing motion. Just be mindful with any kind of overhead. And don't try to force it. If you find this is a natural stopping point, stop there. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to switch to the other side. So starting with the rotator cuff on the other side, find that shoulder, find that groove of where your shoulder ends and your torso begins. And I want that elbow down to the ground. Try to rotate nice and controlled back and forth. Don't try to force any range of motion. If you find you can't actually touch the ground on either side, that's okay. Just focus on slow, deep movement. 35 seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Now for the upper traps, so take that same weight. You're gonna not weight. It's the same roller or ball. You're gonna place it just underneath your upper trap on the left side. For me, you're gonna slowly just wave that arm up and down. Take nice, easy, gentle motions. You want to be pushing up your upper trap muscle. You shouldn't be in your neck or in your shoulder. You should be just behind that upper trap. Being slow, deep motion. So 10 more seconds. 10, 9, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go for just a couple of neck stretches. So here, both hands behind our back. And I want you to point your chin towards the sky. Both hands behind our back. Drop the shoulders. Imagine pointing your chin towards the sky. If you want to make some funny jaw movements, you can open and close your jaw, kind of wave it side to side, whatever works for you. You want to just feel a nice gentle stretch across the front of your neck. So 10 more seconds here. 10. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect. From here, now just one hand behind our back. We're really going to pull it over with the other side. So for me, my left arm is pulling towards my right, and my head's turning towards my right as well. I'm going to drop my left shoulder and really tilt my head to the right. Open up that neck as best we can. Three, 2, 1. Switching over now. Right hand towards the left, head towards the left as well, and drop that right shoulder. Really put my head over to the left. Ten, 9, 3, 2, 1. Now to look down, you can also put both hands behind our back, drop our shoulders. Simply tilt your head down, chin to chest. A nice, easy, gentle stretch. You even kind of sway your head a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. If one part of your neck is stiffer than the other, feel free to lean a little bit more towards that side. You're getting some nice, easy, gentle rolls. I do stress gentle. More seconds, 10. 3, 2, and 1. Now roll the shoulders, kind of shake it off. Thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. Hope you're feeling a little looser in the neck, in the shoulders, and just everywhere. Thank you all who came live, and thank you all whoever's watching this later. I'm going to pause the recording here.